Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right, I think we are live on YouTube, and let's fix this. So we are covering a tornado warning right now in portions of Texas. Let's actually switch this up a little bit, and we're going to get this going here. Just to the northwest of the Houston metropolitan area in our slight risk area. I have a lot of lines on the screen. I know what they mean. I will explain to them as they come up, but right now we are covering this tornado warning here, and we're going to go back here and cover this warning. So it's one of two warnings right now. The other is a snow squall warning in Montana, but we have a tornado warning in Harris and Montgomery County as we're just getting started with this tornado threat. A very active severe weather day on the way, and right now I have the 4-box here, and that is going to be kind of how I go about a lot of these things. Since we have our reflectivity in the top left corner, we have our velocity, and actually I'm going to switch this to storm relative velocity, and we're basically looking for these reds and greens. If they're close to each other, that's what we call a couplet, and that is a first indicator that we could have a tornado on the ground. Our second indicator is in the bottom left. That is the correlation coefficient, so how similar things are in the atmosphere, and that is going to be our confirming factor. That's usually what the National Weather Service uses to say that a tornado is radar confirmed, is the correlation coefficient. And we're going to be seeing a lot of tornado warnings today, apparently. This is pretty early in the day, 2:30 here Eastern Time, 1:30 Central Time, where this is all going on. We've seen multiple days of severe weather across the southern tier of the country this past week, really, and we're continuing another day here, Monday of Thanksgiving week, a big travel week, so this kind of elevates a lot of these threats as we were going throughout this very big holiday week. And we're just going to update this here, TikTok. I'm covering two different platforms at the same time, so this is the first time I'm doing this, but I wanted to try this out and see how things go. I know TikTok and YouTube both have different demographics, so there are people in these areas that could be just watching on TikTok, not watching on YouTube at all. We're currently getting a new radar scan in, and that is going to be important as we go throughout this severe weather day. So yeah, auto selected. I need to add a topic. Apparently I need to add a topic to this, so we're gonna go, I guess, news and event. Sure. All right, I guess we are now live on TikTok as well. So hello to our TikTok viewers out there. We are covering a severe weather day across the southern United States. Right now we are covering a tornado warning in areas of Texas. This includes Harris and Montgomery County, and we're going to be taking a look at this throughout the rest of this afternoon. So let's go through this tornado warning here. It's been up for a little bit over 15 minutes now as I've been kind of setting all this up. So the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, this is the tornado watch, has issued a tornado watch for portions of extreme west central Louisiana, southeast, and east central Texas. This is effective Monday morning and evening from 11:45 a.m. Central Time to 7 p.m. Central Time. The primary threats include a few tornadoes likely, scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events to 2 inches in diameter, possible scattered wind, damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour possible. So we have this system that is going through the southern United States right now. And again, I have a lot of lines on this map. We are going to go through a lot of these lines. Actually, I can kind of take these layers on and off. So let's kind of take off our outlook right now. And we'll take off our mesoscale discussions. Perfect. So this is a much more simplified version right now of what's going on. So this red polygon here, very complicated, complex polygon. And actually, we'll take off our lightning, storm tracks, local, and alerts. Look at that, much simpler. So this larger red polygon here, this is where we have our tornado watch in place. These are areas where the ingredients for tornadoes are present, but we do not actively have a tornado that we're potentially watching. Now, as we zoom into this area just to the northwest of Houston right now, this red polygon is our tornado warning. This is where we have the ingredients in place, right? It's in this tornado watch region, but we're now seeing all of these kind of come together into a potential tornado threat here just to the northwest of Houston. So right now, in terms of our top right box here, this is our velocity. This shows us basically whether the rain particles in this potential supercell are moving towards or away from the radar. For reference, I'm going to pull this up real quick. So our radar is just the southeast of Houston. So anything in green is going towards the radar. Anything in red is going away from the radar. And we're looking for these reds and greens to be fairly close together. Right now, near Lakewood Forest, something similar. Now, this is storm relative velocity. Okay, so we have our tornado warning just got extended. So it is now observed. So we have a tornado on the ground. This is a confirmed tornado. Let's take a look at this new polygon here. We have a confirmed observed tornado in Texas. So the National Weather Service in League City has issued a tornado warning for south central Montgomery County in southeastern Texas, northwestern Harris County in southeastern Texas until 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 1:38 p.m. Central Standard Time, a confirmed tornado was located near Willowbrook or near Jersey Village, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So I would assume that we are talking about this couplet right in here near Lakewood Forest. So we're talking about this couplet right here. We can see right here as well a drop in our correlation coefficient. So this top left will update first. This is our reflectivity. That scan will go across much quicker than anything else. So this is now a confirmed tornado in southeastern Texas, just to the northwest of the Houston metropolitan area. So if you are in Champion Forest, this is now your time to take cover if you are not already taking cover. And again, we're thinking that this is our tornado right in here based on our latest reflectivity. Our couplet is right here on this top right panel of our screen, and that correlates to a correlation coefficient drop, which also means that the molecules and the different debris in the atmosphere is starting to get picked up. Yep, that is definitely strengthening. Our couplet just got updated here in the top right. So here's our area of rotation that we're watching. If I had to pick out an area that we're looking at a tornado, it's right in here. You can see our correlation coefficient is dropping below 1. So this is basically this bottom left panel here is showing how similar objects in the atmosphere are to each other. So typically when you see debris aren't spherical. They're not the same width vertically as they are horizontally. So that typically results in a drop in correlation coefficient. That's what we're seeing right now here in southeast Texas, and again, a confirmed tornado. So let's go in here. I'm going to, for our YouTube viewers here, I'm going to update our text here to update this tornado warning. So let's take a look here. Tornado warning for South Central until 2:30. So again, this is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, and this is until 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So 2:30. And for my TikTok viewers, this is not on here. This is just for the YouTube viewers. Basically, I'm just putting in the details of a lot of these severe weather hazards. So we're, again, covering this tornado warning that is right now in southeast Texas and is moving to the northwest of the Houston metropolitan area. So if you are inclined, you are in the next man up, basically, for a potential tornado. This is an observed tornado on the ground, confirmed by the National Weather Service that there is a tornado on the ground right now in southeast Texas. Spring Texas, this is also your time to get that plan in place. If you have a plan for tornadoes, this is now the time. We are expecting this to move through within the next 30 minutes here, 30 to 45 minutes. So let's take a look at, so this tornado will be near Tomball, Spring, The Woodlands, Hurricane Harbor, Splashtown, and Hooks Airport around 1:45 p.m. Central Time. So right around now. Oak Ridge North around 1:50 p.m. Central Time, Shenandoah, Chateau Woods, and the Woodlands Pavilion around 1:55 p.m. Central Time, Porter Heights around 2 p.m. Central, Woodlock around 2:05 p.m. Central Time. So our reflectivity is updated again. This is not a typical time of year that we start to see these very significant severe weather threats. I mean, we've had meteorologists have been looking at today as a potential severe weather day for a while, our main area here. So I'm going to take off for a second on these charts, our watches, warnings, and special weather statements. I'm going to put back up our outlook, and I'm going to put up our tornado outlook. So anywhere in this brown polygon here, so this is a 5%. I'm going to test my computer drawing facility. So this is a 5% risk of tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. Anywhere in this green, that is a 2%. So these are our areas that we could be seeing some tornadoes today. Again, we already have one confirmed tornado in southeastern Texas, just the northwest of Houston, that is tracking to the northeast. And you can see that this is the storm that we're watching that has a confirmed tornado, and that is within that 5% polygon. So let's take that back off, and let's go back to our warnings and our watches here and our special weather statements as well. So again, an observed tornado here in southeastern Texas, although our couplet is starting to fade a little bit. So we could be seeing that this is kind of close to or near the end of its lifespan, but we still have, if you look in our bottom left corner here, a significant debris ball with this storm system moving through. And that is definitely radar confirmed, but again, we have seen that this is observed. So that means somebody has physically seen this with their own two eyes, this tornado that is now on the ground. So let's take a look again. Confirmed tornado near Willowbrook or near Jersey Village moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. Hazard, damaging tornado and quarter-size hail. Weather spotters have confirmed this tornado. So most likely we have a storm chaser that is in this storm right now, or at least on it, maybe not in it, hopefully not in it. And we have a confirmed tornado. So I want to take a look here. Let's go back to our two-screen view here. So here is our reflectivity or standard radar image here on the left, and our velocity basically. So this is, again, looking at what is going towards and away from the radar. So green means towards the radar. Our radar is to the southeast. Red means away from the radar, and that is just very close to each other. Again, this was stronger just a few runs ago. Now here's our couplet right here. So this is what we're watching right in here. And from our reflectivity, we can now see that this is a rain-wrapped tornado. So our reflectivity is picking up that there is rain currently falling in many of these areas, and the tornado is kind of embedded within them. This is possibly one of the worst case scenarios with this, because this means that if you are out and about in Texas right now and you are nearby where this tornado is, you cannot see it. So Klein, Texas, you are now about to get hit by a potential tornado here. Let's go back to our 4 panel. We still have on our correlation coefficient a drop, and that means that we have some debris flying in areas just to the southwest of Klein, Texas, that lines up with our velocity couplet, and that lines up with our reflectivity. So we do have, again, a observed tornado in southeastern Texas right now. Spring, Texas, if you are not already in your shelter, now is the time. This tornado is heading towards you. Areas to the northeast of Klein, this is where this storm is heading. So again, we had from this National Weather Service statement here in this tornado warning that this is a confirmed tornado and it is moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So just to draw out a miniature cone of where this could go, and I'm being very deliberate with where I'm placing these. This is where we could see a potential tornado go. Now, areas like the Woodlands, I think if you are in the Woodlands, Texas, you are fine, but stay in your shelter at this time. And again, we could see some longer-lived tornadoes within this severe weather threat today as well. So this is not going to be a one-off thing. We do have a significant tornado threat across areas of southeast Texas. Again, we have one that has already been observed in southeast Texas. So if you know anybody in Texas, now is the time to reach out to them. Say, hey, there's a tornado in your area. So right now, we just got a new scan. Yep, Klein, Texas is about to take a direct hit from a tornado. So here's our debris ball, and Klein is right in the middle. So hearts out to Klein, Texas right now. A confirmed tornado is taking its aim right at downtown Klein, Texas right now. So we are checking in on Texas right now, southeast Texas. Again, just so we can get our bearings, here is Houston. So this current couplet is about 21 and a half miles to the northwest of Houston, Texas. This is just by Klein, Texas, just outside the I guess Houston has multiple beltways, but outside the Texas 99 now, their brand new beltway that they just built. This is just to the west of I-45. So again, this is going to eventually cross over Interstate 45 in southeast Texas, and that is going to happen here within the next 10 minutes. This is a relatively slow-moving tornado as well. So again, we don't have any estimates of potential wind speed, but here is the area that we are watching. So I circled our debris ball that is showing up on this correlation coefficient. Again, if you don't know what correlation coefficient is, correlation coefficient shows how similar things are in the atmosphere. So these areas where we're seeing these purples, like up here by Tomball, that is just pure rain because our values are very close to 1. The lower the correlation coefficient is, the more different the objects in the atmosphere are, which is a very major instance here of a debris ball, a correlation coefficient drop, because obviously we are seeing potentially the city of Klein, Texas being hit directly by a tornado right now. So again, this is our only current tornado warning. We have a tornado watch up for much of eastern Texas, including Houston, and far western and west central Louisiana. So this tornado watch goes through 7 p.m. Central Time today. So we are just in the beginning of this severe weather outbreak across areas of the southern United States. This is a significant severe weather outbreak potential across areas of Texas, Louisiana, and eventually into Mississippi. So we're still covering this same tornado warning. We just got a reflectivity scan update. So a significant drop now, so I can kind of get the values of this. Yeah, so here's our debris ball. It's just to the north of Klein, Texas. And we still have a couplet here, albeit it is weaker than it was. But here's our couplet. So, and our debris ball is right in here. So, if you are in areas to the northwest of Houston, Klein, Texas just got hit with an observed tornado. This was observed. It is confirmed to be on the ground, and we have a debris ball in place. So, we have Klein, Texas just got hit with a tornado. So, hearts out to everyone in Klein, Texas. A very devastating situation there. Spring, Texas, the Falls at Imperial Oaks, Grogan's Mill. These areas are the next to potentially get hit by this tornado if it stays on the ground. Again, there are signs here that we are seeing a weakening in this couplet. So this is not as strong as it just was a few runs ago, which means that we are better off now with our tornado threat in Klein, just to the northeast of Klein, Texas, than we were. So, again, we have a confirmed tornado here. This is a confirmed tornado warning, but we are seeing that the rotation within this supercell is decreasing. So this is part of a wider severe weather threat across areas of the deep south. So let's go to just our one panel here. We have multiple special weather statements in areas of northern Texas. So just west of Shreveport in eastern Texas, just south of Longview, we have a special weather statement. Just to the southwest of Texarkana, we have a special weather statement. And this is part of a larger storm system that will be moving through. And right now, this is a very messy radar image. And many of our high-resolution models were not showing the radar to be this messy. So that might actually hinder some of the severe weather that we could be seeing throughout the rest of the day today. So let's take a look here again. We had a confirmed tornado in southeast Texas, just to the northwest of Houston. It is now moving towards Spring, Texas. So let's pull up our 4-panel again. And we are seeing now that our debris ball, so our correlation coefficient drop, is starting to get reduced. Our couplet is also starting to get reduced. So it seems from radar imagery here that this potential tornado, this confirmed tornado, is potentially off the ground. And that is a good thing. We're probably back to maybe even either a funnel cloud or just a rotating supercell. So very good news for areas of southeast Texas. But again, we did have already one confirmed tornado in southeast Texas today. And this is a part of a larger system. And we have a tornado watch across areas of eastern Texas and western Louisiana through 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. I plan on staying live for as long as I can to cover this severe weather threat as it is ongoing. But again, we already had one confirmed tornado. So overall, I just want to talk about for a second the overarching impacts of this storm system here. This is a large-scale storm system across the southern and central tiers of the country, and that's going to be messing up a lot of travel plans. Again, we were talking about it. Today is the Monday before Thanksgiving. This is the largest and most impactful travel week of the year. So actually what we're going to do here, and I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm going to go over and I'm going to pull up something behind the scenes here, and we're going to take a look at some of our higher resolution guidance on this storm system as it's moving through. So I'm pulling up the latest HRRR, so one of our convective allowing models. And we're going to time out this storm system. So first, let me switch this over first on YouTube. So YouTube, you are now seeing it. And then let me switch it over on TikTok as well, so we can all kind of follow this together. So let me see this. All right. Perfect. All right. So I have a weather model up now. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. Yes, that's a mouthful, but this is one of our higher resolution models that allows us to track these storm systems in real time. And this updates every hour on the hour. So right now, this should be the full model run here. Yes. All right. So perfect. All right. So right now we saw these cells right here in Texas, and those did end up dropping one tornado. As we go throughout the day today, we're seeing cyclogenesis in areas of Kansas and Oklahoma. All right. Well, has anybody else on TikTok been having some issues with I've now had multiple things. I do my videos on my own, right? And now I'm getting like all of these like content appeals from TikTok, like that I'm stealing other people's content. Like dude, it's me on screen. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like my dumb face is on camera right now, so I'm clearly not stealing anybody else's content. But yeah, I guess we're appealing that on TikTok right now, because that seems a little odd to me. But whatever. The show goes on. We're still here. I don't get it. So. So now on this weather model website, so this is the College of DuPage weather model website. These little black outlines here are where we have updraft helicities that are greater than 75. And those are pretty early indicators that we have rotating supercells. And crazy enough here, right, this is for right now. 22Z, trying to do like mental math in my head right now. Yeah, so this is for right now, and we had one of those black outlines literally right over where that confirmed tornado was. So the updraft helicity swath that is currently on the 18Z high resolution rapid refresh model was exactly right in predicting where this storm system would produce a tornado, and we had that confirmed tornado. So as we go throughout the rest of the night tonight, we're going to see some warm sector supercell development in areas of Louisiana and western Mississippi. You can see those kind of right in here where my cursor is. As we go throughout the evening, we'll eventually see, as we go overnight into tomorrow morning, just a line of thunderstorms. And that's going to be the main area that we could see a damaging wind threat. Now, tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has also put out a slight risk of severe weather with a 5% tornado risk. So very similar to today, further east, more so in Alabama and Georgia. So this is because, and I'm actually going to zoom out here if I can, to, it's not going to allow me to do a large sector on the HUR here. So let's go to, I guess, the NAM. We'll go to the NAM, contiguous United States. So how many, it's an incomplete data set. So we'll go back to the 12Z here. So this is because of this larger storm system that's actually kind of in two parts right now. We have our main weather maker for today, our severe weather threat across areas of the southern tier of the country. And then we have this other piece of energy here. And actually, I'm gonna take a look at this from a different perspective, from our vorticity perspective. So that we have this piece of energy across areas of the Southern Plains, and we have this piece of energy across areas of the Pacific Northwest. And these two will eventually kind of phase together a little bit. Not as much as we usually see with very impactful storm systems, but these two pieces of energy will interact, and eventually we'll see a pretty powerful storm system into the eastern United States just after Thanksgiving. And actually, this is going to be a huge factor when it comes to these lines here. The winds generally follow these lines, these black lines from west to east. So we're going to see a massive Arctic air mass moving in from Canada just after Thanksgiving. So if you're driving home on your Black Friday holiday and trying to get home, bundle up, because we're going to be seeing temperatures well below average. So let's take a look. Can I get on here? Here we go. Temperature. So by the end of the week, we're going to see temperatures in portions of the northern tier of the country. Pretty sure this readout is actually should be around 5 degrees in areas of North Dakota. We have 20s dipping down all the way into areas of Missouri and Kansas. We have the freezing line getting into Texas. So a very strong low pressure system that's going to be moving in throughout the rest of the week and bringing in an Arctic air mass. And even as we go into next week, we're going to get a reinforcing shot of cold air from another storm system that moves in, and that is going to be okay, all right. So yeah, another reinforcing shot of cold air, and that could actually bring areas of the northern tier of the country below zero. So a very, very cold start to the very beginning of your December, especially across areas of the northern tier of the country. This is going to be our first real polar plunge of the year. I mean, look at this. This is December 4th, and we have temperatures near Minneapolis, minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit. That is absolutely absurd. So very, very cold as we go into December, and this battleground between very cold air off to our north and very warm, especially in the Gulf, we have very warm sea surface temperatures, and that is going to allow for this battle zone between the two, and that allows for more of these severe weather threats. So again, severe weather threat today, and let's time this out for you. Let's go back to our HRRR model run, and let's go to the Southern Great Plains and take a look. Convective. Let's just grab his precipitation. We'll just do simulated reflectivity here. So, and I do not want the 0Z run. I want the latest run. Perfect. So again, we're going to see these cells continue to pop up across southeastern Texas throughout the day today, over the next few hours here. So right now it is 3 p.m. Eastern time where I'm streaming from. So we have to add 5 to that, so 22. Perfect. So this is our situation right now. You can see our cells in southeastern Texas that have already confirmed one tornado on the ground, and we have this line just to the west. And this is going to eventually be our main driver of a strong wind threat as we go throughout the night. We're also seeing that we have an increase in precipitation and echoes, as we call them, as we go throughout southern and central Louisiana, western Mississippi as well. And the main tornado threat will be out ahead of this line. So once you get into this line, the shear vectors, so the vector at which the winds are changing with height, kind of aligns with the storm motion. So all of these will kind of gel together, and that's why you get those long lines of thunderstorms. Now, as we go throughout the rest of the day and we go overnight tonight, that will eventually kind of slow down and the severe weather threat will wind down. But another round of severe weather is likely throughout the day tomorrow across areas of Alabama and into Georgia as this low pressure system continues to slowly drift to the east. So another active severe weather day on Tuesday across areas of Alabama and Mississippi. And actually, let's time that out as well as we go to the southeast here. So this is for the day tomorrow. Obviously, today we have our main threat right in here, and we've already seen one confirmed tornado because of that. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, kind of a very similar overall setup. So we have this line of thunderstorms. This is our cold front right here. And then we have some rogue cells out in front of that line. And that would be where you would see your most significant potential for a tornado. Like this cell right here, that is showing on a high resolution model already kind of your classic hook echo shape. And we kind of see like these, they call them pills, right? Because they look like little like lima beans. And those are symbols that we could be seeing rotation within these cells. So let's go back here. I'm going to check in on this off screen real quick, just checking in on that tornado warning. That is pretty much completely dissipated. So we do have good news that tornado is no longer on the ground, that Yeah. So, oh, pulled up something I didn't want to do. Yeah, but again, we already had one confirmed tornado out of this threat, and I was not expecting that this early. So it might be a long day across areas of the southern tier of the country just because of that. So let me check in over here. I'm hoping that my appeal went well. You know, TikTok thinks that I'm not a real person apparently, um, which is insane. But hey, well, what am I gonna do? You know, I I I don't get it. Um, so there's not a tornado in Mississippi right now. This is one of my YouTube viewers here. But there is the potential for severe weather across Mississippi throughout the day, overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Now, the good thing for Mississippi is that most of this line will actually be moving through overnight. And that means that we'll see reduced chances of significant severe weather because we'll be going overnight, and the radiative heating of the sun on the earth will be less overnight. So there's going to be less overall juice in the atmosphere because there's going to be less sunlight. So I do think that if we just go back here, let me switch back to radar scope, and I'll show you guys. Actually, you know what? We could do it on here. So SPC SWOTY. Perfect. So let's pull this up. All right. So here's our risk area for today. Areas of eastern Texas, most of Louisiana, very southern Arkansas, and western Mississippi. And then tomorrow, our threat shifts to eastern Mississippi and Alabama. I think primarily going to be in Alabama. So let's actually shift this. I can kind of zoom in. This is what I really like about this site. A lot of people will show the normal Storm Prediction Center site. And I think that kind of defeats the purpose because the Storm Prediction Center site only shows the entire country. I like this because, one, they're nicer maps. And two, I get to zoom in. I can even zoom into the state level if you like. So yeah, here's our threat for today. And here's our tornado threat for today. So Jackson, Mississippi is included in that 5% risk of tornadoes throughout the day today, as well as Shreveport, Louisiana, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and then we just saw Houston, Texas, just outside of that 2% risk, but could see just the north and east of that. And in fact, we saw a tornado in the 2% here as of this latest update, which was at about 20 minutes ago. So this was updated 20 minutes ago, at least this day 1 outlook. And then the day 2 outlook shows eastern Mississippi, areas of Alabama, including Birmingham and Montgomery, going to be in that severe weather risk as well. So trying to see. I wish I was able to get little pings whenever I got comments from either stream, but I guess that's not happening. But let's actually do this here, and I'm going to switch this back to radar scope, and we're going to take a look at some of our other cells here. So we have 3 special weather statements in northeast Texas right now. So here is this tornado warning. The tornado warning that we were talking about just a few minutes ago that produced that tornado in Klein, Texas. That cell has since deteriorated, and we are not worried about that anymore in terms of any of this, right? So nothing really left on these cells here. I think they're just going to let this tornado warning expire. That's the tornado watch. I want the tornado warning. The tornado warning expires in 18 minutes. With all intents and purposes, I don't think there's any rotation left any significant rotation left in this cell to produce another tornado. We saw one confirmed tornado in Klein, and once it got out of Klein, Texas, towards Spring, Texas, we saw that deteriorate. So let's take a look to the north and go up here to Shreveport's radar. Perfect. So this is a very messy radar image. Let's just take this one shot here. So, oh, okay. Let me do this. Just gotta disconnect this screen and make sure that I still have you guys up on my other screen. So, we have a very messy radar image here. This seems like this special weather statement is probably, yeah, expires in 2 minutes. So, we're not really worried about that. Another special weather statement here for areas of northeast Texas. This expires in 17 minutes. Reports of half-inch hail and 40-mile-an-hour winds. A strong thunderstorm will impact southwestern Rusk and northeastern Cherokee counties until 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 2:01 p.m. Central Time, so 3:01 Eastern, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm 6 miles west of Ponta, or 6 miles southeast of Jacksonville, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour and half-inch size hail is the hazard. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible. So this is that special weather statement here. Now we have another special weather statement that is approaching Tyler, Texas. Let's see if I can get a better view of this storm. I think maybe, there we go. That's better. So let's take a look at this special weather statement that expires in 16 minutes. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of eastern Henderson County through 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 1:55 p.m. Central Standard Time, so 2:55 Eastern, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Coon Creek Lake, or 8 miles southeast of Athens, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and penny-sized hail is the hazard. Gusty winds can knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecure objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible. So, and now here's the other thing, right? I'm going to put back up our discussions because we have a convective discussion right now and we have 2 precipitation discussions. Let's read our convective discussion, which concerns Tornado Watch 638. So this Tornado Watch that we've been covering throughout the day today, the severe weather threat continues for Tornado Watch 638. A few tornadoes remain possible with ongoing storms across east central into southeastern Texas. Supercell structures have percolated in intensity along a confluence band within the free warm sector ahead of a surface cold front. So again, that surface cold front is back here. So there's our surface cold front. These are all some renegated cells in the warm sector, right? Because our warm front is way off to the north here. So we have plenty of Gulf moisture that's moving into areas of southeast Texas. But our cold front that would kind of bring in some dry air from the west and would eventually hinder supercell development to the west of this line is still well off to the west here. So we have plenty of energy, plenty of juice for supercells to fire up and remain fairly long-lived. Again, we kind of see some very messy radar images here. I think eventually things will start to clear out. And right in here, I think we'll start to see within the next few hours, we'll start to see some more significant supercell growth, especially in areas that are still in this watch area. So right now it's kind of, we have plenty of, I'm wondering if that's actually hitting the ground or if that's just elevated. Yeah, so we have some messy, pre-convection precipitation, and typically that will kind of hinder any threats. I don't know why I keep looking over there. The camera's right there. So usually that'll hinder any sort of convective development, and we'll see that all the time. So I went on, Penn State has a storm chase that we go out every year, and I was on that storm chase last year, and we were in Kansas, and nothing good came out of Kansas on that trip. My buddy got a speeding ticket in Kansas for going 11 miles over the speed limit. I didn't think that was a problem, but I guess, hey, Kansas State troopers. But we were chasing a moderate risk day, so level 4 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. And throughout the entire morning, it was just this continued just mist it was one of those really kind of disgusting mornings, right? We were at this like random park in like southern Kansas, and we're just this random park in southern Kansas. It was just misting. It was really just gross, and yeah, we were just there for, I think we were there for like 3 hours. We got food, thank God. I had a Subway sandwich. You know, Subway sandwich in hand. I had I think I was like on a swing. I was on a random swing in southern Kansas, just chilling and and eating my sandwich in just this misty mess. You know what? That's a great term. This misty mess in southern Kansas. And nothing good came from that day. We really didn't get much in terms of convection until like very, very, very close to sunset. I mean, we got some decent structure, but like that was a very disappointing day. But usually, again, kind of tangent aside, when we see some precipitation out ahead of where we're expecting convection, that usually will hinder because we don't have clearing ahead of this. And actually, let me switch this back. We could actually kind of look at this a little bit more. Let me go to, let's go back here. Let me switch it over on TikTok as well. But we never actually switched it back from that. So I apologize for that. But we are going to go back to weather data, and we're going to look at our satellite and radar. So our visible satellite across areas of, actually I don't want a product overlay. I want a sub-regional sector. Let's go, I guess, with that. Let's go with this. So, yeah, there's definitely some problems here. Let's go localized sectors, actually. Actually, it's, look at that. It's not even going to load. Well, let's try this, maybe. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's try a different. Hey, there we go. All right. It actually loaded. Yeah, so we just have a lot of this just kind of upper level like cloud layer, and that's actually going to hinder development because we're not getting any surface heating. So any diurnal heating within this area here, I guess we'll go back to our sub-regional sector, within this area right here is really not going to do well. Actually, let's go to a regional sector just so we can kind of see. So in jokes aside, I mean, obviously we have a severe weather day. It's not going to be, a fun day for many across the southern tier of the United States. Just a really consolidated low across areas of Oklahoma and southern Kansas. Crazy enough, where basically exactly where we were when I was talking about that like really miserable day that we were chasing out in southern Kansas. So that's where the low pressure system is. On the backside of this, there's a chance that we could see maybe some snowflakes. You can see some snow in the foothills of the Rockies, I think, right there. That's a little bit of snow. But because of these supercells that kind of fired up over southeast Texas, right? We had some clearing here and a good cumulus field at the kind of the base levels of the atmosphere. So right at our lifted condensation level, we had some cumulus fields popping up there, but eventually these few cells kind of really took off, and the overshooting tops of these couple of supercells right in here, one of which produced that tornado. So let me move this around actually. So I was a storm chaser for a little bit. So I'm a current student at Penn State. So I'm studying meteorology and atmospheric science. But I was storm chasing this past May. We went out for 10 days, and it was a fun time. A lot of time in the car. So full-time storm chasers, I have so much respect for full-time storm chasers, because the amount of time that you have to spend in your car, and driving isn't the most comfortable thing in the world. As much as like you have like your comfy seat and all that stuff, like I don't know. I just cannot sit still for that long of a time. But the tornado has since lifted. We don't have a tornado currently on the ground. But where it did form, let me see if I could get the exact frame. So it was right in here. This is where that tornado was. And actually, can I get that on a localized sector? I think I can. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it on here. This might be a little... So we only went out for 10 days, and during that time we saw a tornado's cousin. So have you ever heard of like a water spout or a land spout before? I'll pose that question to you. Someone in my YouTube comment section, for those of you on TikTok who have no idea who I'm talking to. So we saw a land spout in the sand hills of Nebraska. That was actually our first chase day. So we had 2 travel days to get out to Nebraska. 2 travel days to get out to Nebraska from Penn State. That was where most of like the boring parts. Okay, so you haven't heard, that's fine. So a tornado is when there's rotation in a cloud and then it eventually connects to the surface. A land spout is where those little like eddies, and like whenever you see like the leaves kind of just swirling around in a circle for like no reason, those are called eddies. And one of those eddies is on the ground, and there's a storm rotating over it, and then the 2 areas of rotation will eventually connect to each other. And that's what forms both a water spout and a land spout. So that's what we saw in Nebraska. So I call it the cousin of a tornado, because it's technically not a tornado, because it wasn't a actual area of rotation that connected from the cloud base down to the ground. It was more so the ground circulation connecting to the cloud. So it's kind of hard to explain without being a super weather nerd. Because most people would just say, hey, that's a tornado. Like, it was tornado warned, because obviously there's no such thing as like a land spout warning or a water spout warning. But yeah, it was close, but not close enough for my liking. I wish we saw a tornado, honestly, because that would have been really, really fun. Just to kind of, obviously from a distance, and hopefully it didn't impact anything. But we were in the sand hills in Nebraska, and as this land spout was going on, we were driving on all of like these like gravel roads, right? They were in good shape, they were dry, that's fine. Like, and then there was this random farmer, probably like herding cattle or whatever. This is the sand hills in Nebraska, so not a ton going out there in terms of like population, but there was this police officer and there was this farmer, and they were just having a chat by the side of the road, and we pulled up, and my buddy had to talk to the officer, be like, hey, we're storm chasing right now. We're trying to get a little closer to the land spout, and they were just there kind of enjoying the view. The land spout didn't, to my knowledge, didn't do anything in terms of damage, but yeah, that is a difference between then and today. Obviously this tornado, I'm assuming I wish I had an ability to draw on this. Right in here is the overshooting top from that supercell that eventually dropped that tornado. That's in a populated area just outside of Houston. We were in an area with basically no population. There were probably more cows in that county that we were in than people. So the other thing too, like if you guys are ever able to get out and kind of just explore parts of the country that you wouldn't think of, right? Like most people want to go to New York City, most people want to go to Chicago, LA, all those places. Really, it surprised me, like the places that you wouldn't think of are sometimes the most exciting. Like, I really enjoyed, we spent a night in Omaha. Omaha was very nice. We went to a baseball game. Crazy enough, their baseball team's name is the Omaha Storm Chasers, which was really cool. So I was able to get us on the big board there to to kind of shout that out. But that was super cool. Oklahoma City. Again, when you think of like, hey, I want to go visit somewhere, typically like the first places off the top of your head, probably not Oklahoma City. Probably not. But I really enjoyed my time there too. I went to a conference in Huntsville, Alabama. That surprised me too. So, yeah. Oh, we got a little bit of a update here. Let's see. Not a ton going on right now. We have a mesoscale convective discussion, 2 mesoscale precipitation discussions. How long is this mesoscale convective discussion? It expires in 2 minutes. Okay, so I won't read it out because it'll be gone before I'm done. But let's read out. Yeah, that expires in 1 hour and 40 minutes. So let me pull up the Weather Prediction Center. Weather Prediction Center. I'm starting to realize that my Mac is not really built. It's not beefy enough for this. Here we go. Mesoscale precipitation discussion. So flash flooding is possible across areas of North Texas through Louisiana. Actually, while I'm here, let me go to description, and we're going to get rid of this tornado warning, because we do not have any active tornado warnings right now. So, but we do have this mesoscale precipitation discussion. Areas of training / repeating thunderstorms should result in local 2 to 4 inch rain totals through 4 p.m. Central Time. Flash flooding is possible, especially where these heavy rainfall totals can occur in sensitive and or urban areas. I believe this is just to the southeast of Dallas. So this does not include the Dallas Metroplex. But just to the southeast, this includes Shreveport, Louisiana. I believe Texarkana is right here. Down towards, not actually in Austin, but down towards Austin as well. A complex convective scenario is ongoing across portions of Texas and Louisiana this morning. A mature linear segment extending from near Hot Springs, Arkansas, south-southwestward to near Longview, Texas, was forward propagating eastward while producing areas of 1/2 inch to 1 inch hour rainfall rates. An outflow boundary from this activity extends westward from Longview to near Waco, where another well-organized linear complex was moving eastward and also producing 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch per hour rainfall rates. Flash flood potential will reside between these 2 linear complexes over the next 4 to 6 hours. Okay, so let's switch this back, and we'll kind of go over what the heck this is kind of talking about. So let me just make sure this is switched over on TikTok as well. Radar scope. Perfect. All right. So here on radar scope, so we have this area of complex, you know what, they called it a convective scenario. Let's go with that because it is definitely messy up here. But this whole area right in here, kind of going down here. So this area here, and we can pull up our 4-panel. Yeah, we've had some very hefty rain totals in some of these areas. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit here on some of our highest rainfall totals. So areas near Easton, Lakeport, Hallsville, Nesbitt, Marshall, and up towards areas closer to, I guess, northwest of Shreveport, have been seeing some very heavy rainfall throughout the day today. 2 to 3 inches have fallen across many areas of, I guess, let's call that East Central Texas. We'll see. We'll see it that way. And then across, right, literally on the line. So this green line here is the edge of the precipitation discussion. So right in here, including areas of, I guess, Pittsburgh. Look at that. Towards Naples, Texas. Another area with around 2-inch rainfall rates throughout this morning. So if we move a little bit further west to the Fort Worth radar, throughout this whole storm system, we saw plenty of flash flooding across areas of Texas last night. I mean, these are 3 to 4 inch totals to the southwest of Fort Worth. Areas near Cedar Hill and Midlothian also saw around 4 inches of rain. And these are relatively close to the radar too, so you know they're fairly accurate. So yeah. How tall? I don't know how tall am I? Like 5'8", 5'9". Let's see. Yeah, so let's see. This is like the radar hole. This is the radar gap. So let's kind of take this is about like 20 miles outside of Fort Worth. The flood. I have not gotten reports of how deep any sort of flash flooding is, but we did have a mesoscale precipitation discussion last night. So in these areas, 4 inches of rain fell within. So this was starting yesterday so this is within basically the last 24 hours. 4 inches of rain has fallen across areas of Dallas, Fort Worth, to the southwest, getting, I guess, closer to Abilene, Texas. So that's fairly significant, and it probably caused plenty of, maybe some rivers to overflow their banks and whatnot. But in terms of, it wouldn't be like storm surge where it would be measured in feet. Probably saw maybe a couple inches of flooding in urban areas, especially, just because the drains were kind of overflowing at that point. But we don't. When you talk about how actually tall the floodwaters were, it kind of underplays it a little bit, because technically 6 inches of flowing water can move a car. So it doesn't take a lot. Water is the most powerful force on this planet by far, and that's why flash flooding is really serious, and that's why these mesoscale precipitation discussions are so important, because these are kind of the precursors to any flash flood warnings, especially in the South, where they're really based on convection lining up. So. But yeah, no, good question on how tall the flooding was. Are we gonna have to ride boats? I don't think so. I think we're good with just the car. But sometimes cars can turn into boats in I guess in that sense. Yeah, but not in this case. We're not gonna have to ride boats across areas of Texas. So that's one water bottle gone. We got one more water bottle for the next 4 hours. That's gonna be great. All right, so let's take a quick radar trip around. All right, so this is the tail end of our cold front right here. Just probably move through Austin, Texas. As we get closer to Houston, in terms of anything starting to shout out to me if there's anything rotating. I would say no, not over here. And I think we still have this precipitation, this just stratiform, normal just rain going on across areas of eastern Texas right now. So, not a whole lot going on radar-wise in our tornado watch zone. We do have an overabundant amount of precipitation in areas of central Louisiana. We'll eventually be covering there later on this evening. But again, kind of your typical waiting period, right? We're kind of in between our main event. I think that we kind of had a very early start, but now we're kind of in between. We're playing the waiting game. So this is the time where I usually open it up to you guys. What do you guys want me to cover? Anything? Like we could talk about anywhere in the country right now. While we kind of wait for things to get going on this side of things. Or we could just have a chat. I guess I could go over other weather stories, I guess. Man, I'm trying to think of a good one. What's a good weather story for me to tell right now? Oh, I was having this debate the other day with some of my colleagues. So, the National Weather Service does not name winter storms. Can you call Big Bad Chuglands to drink the flood? I don't think we should be drinking flood water. It's a little dirty, and you don't know what's in flood water. So they tell you turn around, don't drown. And that is basically if you're in a car or you're walking around, riding around, and you see any sort of like flowing water, right? Even honestly, like dirty rivers, like a river that you can't actually see through, you don't know what's in there. So there could be like debris in there that could like sweep you off your feet. So definitely don't want to be drinking flood water. That is, I would say for sure, do not drink flood water. Let's see. So I was having this conversation with my peers the other day, of the National Weather Service does not name winter storms. The Weather Channel does, and I think that some of their names are kind of dumb, but apparently it works because the most infamous storm of my lifetime, I don't know it as like the blizzard of 2013. I just know it as Winter Storm Nemo, which is what the Weather Channel called it. But I was telling them, I was like, at this point, why don't we name winter storms? Like, I find it really intriguing because winter storms could have just as much of an impact on people as a hurricane can. Like right now, we name hurricanes. We do not name winter storms. So I was like, why not? Why not name winter storms? So my thing, their argument, and it's a good argument, is they were like, what classifies as a winter storm is significant? So I don't know. What do you guys think? What to you, like in terms of a winter storm, right? Is it a half a foot of snow is significant? Is 3 inches of snow significant? And the answer is really it depends on where you live. If you live like I was bringing up the point last year, Pensacola, Florida saw snow. When was the last time? I don't think anybody can remember the last time Pensacola saw snow. So that is significant. But they only got, I think 4 inches. But even if they got an inch, that would be significant. And that would go down as something that should have been named and honestly should have been retired. So really, really interesting. I don't know. It's a very confusing argument, I guess. 4 inch. You think 4 inches should classify a storm as a significant snowstorm? Honestly, like, for many areas of the country, like, can I name one right now? Well, we don't have a storm that's going to be bringing any sort of significant snow in the next couple days. So I would say no, but I technically can't stop you. Like, you can technically name whatever you want. I mean, you could name a piece of grass and now it has a name. Like, I feel like there's like a sound going on behind me. It's so weird. All right. Anyway, let's get back to perusing radar, I guess. Oh, we have a special weather statement in southern Kansas. Now, the question is this for a snow squall? No, rain showers with possible cold air funnels. Okay. I have not... Man. 2 cold air funnels were reported shortly after 1 p.m. Central Standard Time across southeastern Comanche County. Conditions in the atmosphere are such that weak, brief funnels may form this afternoon. They usually develop beneath showers or weak thunderstorms when the air aloft is especially cold. These funnels are usually harmless, but on rare occasions can briefly touch down and cause wind gusts over 50 miles an hour. If a funnel approaches your location, move indoors. Interesting. You know what? I have not heard of that before, but that is really, really cool. See, you know, even I'm learning something today. Cold air funnels. That's pretty cool. We have this other special weather statement. It expires in 1 minute. Okay, I'm not going to read it. But yep, same deal here. Our convective discussion expired a little bit ago. This precipitation discussion in southern Texas is expiring fairly soon. This convective discussion throughout northern Texas is around for a little bit. I guess, let's see, how much longer? Hour and 23 minutes on that one. So, yeah. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to prepare for a little later. You know what? I'm kind of feeling. Let's go back to. We're gonna go back here real quick. I'm gonna slide it over on TikTok as well. And we're gonna go back to my browser. And, oh, okay. I have a notification. Hey, maybe this thing got appeal not approved. What? This is actually insane. No, I'm not. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal or reproduced content. This is in line with the TikTok live section under our community guidelines. Dude, what? That is so strange. All right, so you know what? We're gonna do this. We're going to stop the TikTok live because the TikTok live. Your dog just got ate by a bear? Dude, what? That's insane. Bro, go check on your dog. His name is Gerald. Well, go check on Gerald, bro. Gerald got ate by a bear? First of all, a bear? That's crazy, dude. All right. We're going to try and... How's my live experience? Well, pretty poor because they botched it. All right, let's try this again, I guess. Live info. News and events. Is there like a science one maybe? Huh. So interesting. All right. Thanksgiving travel week. All right, well, resetting this this TikTok live because apparently, you know, my content isn't original. You know, when it's literally my face. But hey, whatever TikTok says goes, I guess. All right. So, I'm gonna do a little forecast here. Yeah, I'm live streaming on TikTok right now too. And my previous live stream, so I ended the other live stream and I started a new live stream. And my other live stream gets taken down for being unoriginal. Like not original content. So yeah, I'm so confused because like oh yeah, you know, it's actually a clock talking and it just talks in ticks. um, yeah, so my TikTok live got taken down because they think that I'm stealing other people's content when it's literally just my face on stream. But, you know, hey, we're going to do something here real quick. So I am going to go live again. All right, so we're going live on TikTok again. Okay, cool. So we're live again on TikTok. And hopefully this time it doesn't get taken down for no reason because TikTok, this is my content. I am analyzing weather maps. Just for whenever I have to potentially appeal this. We're analyzing weather maps. I am a student meteorologist. We are giving a forecast. Please don't suspend me. So, all right. I'm not stealing people. Trust. I do not have the capacity for that. All right. So, this week is a very important week in the United States. It is Thanksgiving week. It is a huge holiday, and many people travel. It is the busiest travel holiday of the year. So, we're going to go through your Thanksgiving forecast live on air while we're waiting for some activity in the southern United States. We have a severe weather threat today, and that is due to a low pressure system that is moving through Kansas and Oklahoma right now. And we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. So, we're going to start out here. This is our, turkey. All right. While we're doing this, comment your favorite Thanksgiving food. What is the first thing on your Thanksgiving plate? because there are so many options, right? There are so many options, right? Are you a turkey person? Do you go straight to the turkey? Personally, if there's like rolls or something, I'm going rolls first. I go rolls first. Then you got to get a little bit of corn. Got to get some corn, right? Cornbread. If there's cornbread, I'm hammering cornbread. And then you got to go turkey, right? Everything on the menu, low key. That's such a valid way to put it. Yeah, low key, just everything on the whole table. Just like, why not? Why not? So, anyway, let's see. Do we have anybody else? For my TikTok viewers as well, we're going over what is the first thing on your Thanksgiving plate, right? First thing that you're grabbing at the Thanksgiving table, what is it? And honestly, why? Why do you go with that first? I go with bread because I think bread is the best way to start a meal. Like, honestly, yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. So comment the first Thanksgiving food on your plate and why. But here, we have this trough here in the Northwest United States that is going to be kind of moving throughout the country, and that's going to be a main player as we go throughout the week. I'm gonna become the next queso. Queso's catching strays in the weather chat, bro. Ain't no way. So stuffing has to hit right, but if it's done well, it's first. That's so valid. Low key, like, there are certain foods that you can't mess up, right? Like, that's why bread is always safe, because bread, you prepare it yourself, right? You're preparing it yourself. You're putting on the butter. You're putting on maybe the olive oil. I'm Italian, so the olive oil. But yeah, if stuffing is done right, stuffing low key slaps. So that's a good point. That it's valid. It's valid. All right. Do we have anybody else? What is the first thing on your Thanksgiving plate and why? That is the question that we are asking right now. What is the first thing that you're taking off the table at Thanksgiving and why? We've already had everything on the menu. We've had a queso stray in the weather chat already. We've had stuffing. And then I'm a big roll guy. I go right for the bread rolls. So comment what you put on your Thanksgiving plate first while we go through this Thanksgiving forecast. At our upper levels here, this is right around 300 millibars, so right at the top of the atmosphere. We have this shortwave trough that's going to be moving through the United States throughout this week. So I swear, oh my God, I'm appealing it. TikTok's trying to take down my live again. This is insane. TikTok, just say you hate me. Like, why are you saying that my content is unoriginal? Yeah, submit. We're submitting the appeal. Anyway, chat, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Right? What is the first thing on your plate? Yeah, my YouTube commenters are like, dude, what is going on? My TikTok stream keeps getting taken down because they think I'm producing unoriginal content. They're thinking I'm stealing content. Like, dude, I'm not AI. So like I'm not stealing anybody else's likeness. I'm not stealing anybody else's content. This is all me. We're literally talking about Thanksgiving food. I don't know how this is unoriginal content. You're eating TikTok? Low-key, yo, me too. Serve them up on a plate because they're sure as heck not helping my stream right now. But yeah, shortwave trough that will be moving through, and then eventually the southern piece of energy, the southern piece of the jet stream that is going to be producing the severe weather threat later on today, will eventually kind of combine into one consolidated jet stream. This negatively tilted trough, which means it's a fairly powerful storm system that we're going to be talking about here, will be moving through Tuesday into Wednesday in the northeast, eventually becoming a closed off low pressure system on Thursday, and then right behind it, our flow, right, as we trace this back, these arrows, goes back into Western Canada. So a Canadian air mass will be moving into areas of the northern tier of the country and eventually into the east. So as we go throughout this week, we're going to see a polar plunge moving into areas, especially in the northern tier of the country. Polar plunge possible for your Black Friday holiday. So as you're traveling back from Thanksgiving, after eating the whole table, everything on the menu, heck yeah, the stuffing, all of the above, right? Once you're done getting your grub on, once you're done eating, once you're done having a great time, then we're going to see the cold move in. And let's kind of drop things down a little bit, and we're going to kind of move over here to our 500 millibar height anomaly. So as we go throughout this week, here is a very early indicator of if temperatures are going to be above or below average. So Tuesday across many areas of the eastern United States is going to be above average. Same thing in the western United States. Below average potentially in areas of the northern tier in this shortwave trough that'll eventually be growing into a larger negatively tilted trough axis as we go throughout the day, Tuesday into Wednesday, and that is going to lead to a significant cold spell across the northern tier of the United States and eventually into the eastern United States. And we can see that even more on our temperature anomaly here. This big blue blob is going to be moving out of Canada. Right now we have this orange swell of warmer than average air. And then right behind this low pressure system, we have this big blue blob coming out of Canada. And we could see temperatures 15 to 30 degrees below average as we go into our Friday. Excuse me, I gotta drink some water real quick. But then that's not the last Arctic outbreak, because we have this other round, another big blue blob, and this could even be more significant, right? This is maybe 30 to 45 degrees below average across areas of the northern tier of the country. Very significant cold spell. So at the end, can you react to the video of the Walking Dead man, basically a tornado? Well, I'm already getting taken down on TikTok for having unoriginal content, so I will not be playing anything that has anything copyrighted on it. Because I do not want to get taken down off of YouTube as well. So, this big blue blob of cold Arctic air moves into the United States throughout the end of this week and into the beginning of next week. So the very beginning of December is going to be very, very cold across, especially the northern tier of the United States, but eventually into the northeast as well. And you can kind of start to see a temperature gradient lining up here, where we have these oranges here, we have these blues here, and then you have right in the middle. There is the potential here for a significant weather maker as we go into the first week of December. So let's kind of get to that a little bit by looking at our, precipitable water anomaly. And this is basically where we start to identify where we could see unsettled conditions across the country. So obviously right now we have, if it decides to load, we have storminess across the central and southern plains right now and a low pressure system moving through the country. So Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll see this start to slide to the east. We'll see snow on the back end in the very northern tier of the country. I think this is predominantly a rain event across the United States. Maybe some areas in Minnesota, Wisconsin could see some snow on the very back end. A very wet Tuesday into Wednesday across the eastern United States. We could see a significant amount of rain there. On the back side of this, the lake effect machine will start to get going again just because of these wind patterns, right? So Areas of the northern UP of Michigan, western Michigan, areas of northwest Pennsylvania, areas of New York as well could see the lake effect snow machine again. And that is going to be potentially another significant round of snowfall. Some of our averages here across areas of Pennsylvania and New York are upwards of 6 inches, maybe even close to a foot of snow. So the lake effect snow machine has been pretty active so far as we go throughout the month of November, and we're wrapping up November, going into December. Another storm system starts to peek its head in from areas of the southern Rockies and into the southern tier United States. Maybe the potential for another severe weather threat as we go throughout the latter half of this week and into the weekend. I think this ends up being kind of a southern slider. Not going to be very significant in terms of the northern United States, but then we kind of get this pool of PWAT anomalies in the southeast, and I think by the middle of next week, we have the potential for a snowmaker across the northern tier of the country. You can see this little blob of green, very light green, because obviously snow is less moisture laden than rain is, and eventually we'll see this slide into the United States, the eastern United States, and into the northeast. So that's something that I'm kind of watching right now. In terms of any severe weather, let's go to our bulk shear. I think there's the potential maybe for another very similar threat to today as we go throughout the end of this week. This website does not want to load right now, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, as we go throughout Saturday, I think there is the potential for some storminess, especially in Texas and Oklahoma again. But again, very early to kind of hammer down on specific details about that. Obviously, our bulk shear today is enough that we already have one confirmed tornado on the day. So I'm going to see what's going on here. Notifications. Appeal not approved. Wonderful. All right. So we're just going to end the TikTok live. Experiment over. Experiment over. We're done with the TikTok. The TikTok got taken down again. You know, whatever. I mean, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? All right. So we're all in. Are we clear on Houston? 800,000 under the tornado watch earlier. Yes. So I'm talking about this is for. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the Houston metropolitan area saw at least one confirmed tornado earlier today. And that was in Klein, Texas. And we were covering that here live at the very beginning of the stream. Most of eastern Texas is currently under a tornado watch. And we will be covering that throughout the day today. We're just kind of in a lull right now. Right now, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings even currently posted within that tornado watch area. So we're kind of filling time. We're going to talk about the next week. And I'm planning on staying live as much as I can. Might have to go grab some more water from upstairs first, but eventually we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming in terms of severe weather coverage. So as we go throughout the next week, I think that we'll see a couple of storm systems. Let's go to our European model and go down to the surface and take a look at, where is it? Why am I blanking? Oh, because it didn't change the model. That's nice. All right. Is this thing... Pivotal weather is crashing out. Hit the Orange Justice. I'm going to have to pass on that. I'm gonna have to pass on the Orange Justice. I'm not going to be doing that. That is not me. Although if you have a picture or a video of somebody doing the Orange Justice and you want to pop that in chat, I will happily react to it. So, obviously, our severe weather threat throughout the day today, our low pressure system, we have two centers of low pressure. One right now is in southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma. Another one is in Montana. We had a snow squall warning earlier in Montana because of these two pieces of energy that are going to eventually combine together. And we're going to see that happen throughout the day on Tuesday. This slug of moisture moves into areas of the northeast throughout the day Tuesday and into Wednesday. The potential for severe weather again across areas of eastern Mississippi and Alabama. How do I do video in chat? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe you're not allowed to share pictures in YouTube chats. I know you are on Instagram, but this isn't Instagram. So, I don't know. Maybe you can. I thought there was an ability to put a GIF in a live chat though. I don't know. So eventually we'll see another cold front move through alongside our existing cold front. And this is going to be bringing in, again, that snow in areas of Minnesota, Wisconsin. This is actually a lot more amplified than just the last time I was looking at this. So the potential here too, these isobars, these lines of equal pressure, are very close together. And that means that we could see some very strong winds on the backside of this low pressure system and the potential for blizzard conditions. Then as we go into the day on Thursday, that's when the lake effect machine starts to get going across areas of Pennsylvania, New York, Michigan. And our next weather maker starts to move into the Pacific Northwest. The lake effect snow machine continues throughout the day on Friday and into the day on Saturday. Meanwhile, our low pressure system moves into the southern plains Saturday. And again, that's why I think we have the chance for another round of severe weather across areas of Texas and Oklahoma again on Saturday. Again, very much that cold blast from this storm system that we're talking about right now is going to allow for snow to get pretty far south. So right now, the European model shows some snow across areas of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, into the Great Lakes region, and then even a little bit in areas of the higher elevations of the Northeast. So, hey, there you go. You found all the, oh, okay. Found the reactions. So, as we go throughout the next few days, I think we'll see another weather maker. Could be a little bit on the snowier side. Especially across areas of the central United States where that cold air is going to be remaining in place for longer. So then we'll see another storm system here. This is December 4th. Yes, this is so when that temperature gradient is set up, it's right over here, right? And I think there's the potential, if the energy can all line up, that we could see our first snow, our first consistent snowfall across areas of the Northeast. That is the first kind of time frame that I'm looking at right now for a significance, a notable, I'm not going to say significant, a notable snow event across areas of the Northeast. Is there's just the signal is there that a temperature gradient is going to be setting up across areas of the Ohio River Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic, and on the colder side, typically our low pressure systems will follow temperature gradients. Right now, the temperature gradient here is set up, and I'm using these blue and red dashed lines here to do this. But that temperature gradient sets up from areas of Oklahoma through the Ohio River Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic. And that allows for the potential of a low pressure system to set up right along that temperature gradient. So that is something that we could be watching here over the next few days. Let's pop up NWS DESI. So this is, let's see, is everything still down on this website? I thought that this was back up, but it may not be. All right, it's not. It's okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so not the EWAL 2.0. Perfect. All right, we can do this. So where's the NBM viewer? Awesome. All right. So across the continental United States, we're going to go to snowfall. This is total snowfall, not, 3-day snowfall, which is usually what I like to look at. So there we go. This is the next 5 days. So we have this weather maker that we're currently tracking. It's showing, is that 2 feet of snow in, okay, hold on. We're gonna zoom in on this real quick. We're going to zoom in. Oh, maybe it's the Northeast actually. Trying to get a good camera view. Oh, it's not really working. That is so unlucky. All right, we're going to use this then. So yeah, areas of the UP of Michigan. Right now, the national blend of models. So this is an ensemble. This is an average through. This is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, showing 30.91 inches of snow. So for my snow lovers out there, that's crazy. Anywhere here in yellow is over a half a foot of snow. And most of that's actually from this system that we're currently tracking across areas of Montana. So it all kind of swipes through areas central North Dakota, through northern Minnesota. Potential for a blizzard across areas of northeast Minnesota and Wisconsin. And then the lake effect machine starts to kick, and areas of the UP of Michigan, 30.91. And then this is starting to show our next system potentially into areas like Iowa. I mean, 5 days out, 4 inches average for Iowa. That's actually pretty impressive for this time of the year. So that's something that we need to watch. In terms of the Northeast, Tug Hill and many areas of northern New York could see a half a foot to a foot. Areas by Erie and northwestern Pennsylvania, southwest New York, northeast Ohio could see another 6 to 12 inches. Western Michigan could see over a foot of snow. So this system is going to have a very impactful wintry component. Where obviously today we're talking about the southern central United States and the fact that we've already seen one tornado on the day. But this system also has a wintry side, and that wintry side is very significant. Mountain snowfall, upwards of a foot. Some areas could see 2 feet of snow with this system throughout these next 2 systems, in fact, over the next 5 days. So that's something of note, and I guess we'll keep an eye on that throughout the next few days. So let's go back here. And let's take a look at our satellite imagery. And actually, while we're at it, I'm going to pop up the SPC mesoanalysis. And we are going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming a little bit here. We're going to take a look back at the South Central United States. Still no warnings up. So we're gonna go through these real quick. And then I'm going to take a quick break because I've been doing this for about an hour and 45 minutes already. I'm going to take a quick rest break, like 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. So let's see. So right now we're on our SPC mesoanalysis page, but I want to take a look first if anything here's cleared out. Not very likely, but we are starting to see some convection pop up in Louisiana. We have some clearing across areas of Texas right in here. So maybe the line could impact those areas. But right now it does seem like we're getting clouded out. So that's not very conducive for severe weather development. Especially the fact that this has been clouded out for a few hours now, and we are now getting close to sunset. I mean, we're getting right towards sunset where I'm at on the East Coast. So we are getting very close to sunset here. So unless you get some nocturnal forcing, it is very unlikely that we're going to see this threat continue to be this explosive. But we have had one confirmed tornado just to the northwest of Houston. And we have seen severe weather across areas of Texas and Louisiana. Not exactly severe thunderstorm warnings per se, but we have seen plenty of special weather statements. We've seen one tornado warning. We have the tornado watch still in place. And that is going to continue throughout 7 p.m. Central Time. So we still have about 4 hours left on that. Right now, let's take a look at our thermodynamics. This is surface-based CAPE. So this is what I'm talking about when we saw when I was saying that this was clouded out. These CAPE numbers are very low in areas of Louisiana, eastern Texas, the areas where that tornado watch is right now. So this first bolded red line here is 500 joules per kilogram of CAPE. Usually when I'm looking at severe weather, I'm looking at this second line, which is 1,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. But in many of these areas as well, we have this blue hashing. And this blue hatching means that there's SIN, or convective inhibition. And that is going to literally inhibit severe weather. So a lot of our highest CAPE values are right along the coast, and this is very close, this 3,500 contour. This is on the very southern end of our line of thunderstorms. It's also very close to the coast. It is also pretty far southwest. And that is something that means that the forcing is probably not going to be as great. Obviously, the Storm Prediction Center outlined this area. Can I get SPC Day 1 Outlook? There we go. So this area in green is where the Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And that 3,500 contour is in the level 1 out of 5 risk. So if we're looking somewhere, I guess we're looking there. What's our lifted index? Yeah, so highest lifted indexes are right around Houston and southwest of Houston, which means that that is the area to watch. So I'm actually going to, just behind the scenes right now, kind of going through and resetting my radar camera view on the other slide to Houston, because that would be the area that is most likely to have any sort of significant severe weather at this point. So yeah, it does seem like this might be it. Our low-level lapse rates are not great in our main area here. So really the fact that we got clouded out is pretty significant. Hey, if you want to go guess by age, you can guess by age. But hey, I'm still here. So like don't go too crazy. Like I don't want to hear, some outrageous number. But as we go throughout tonight, maybe these numbers change a little bit, but overall right now we are not looking too great for any sort of severe weather. 24, close, but no. So in terms of severe weather, very limited potential right now. I think that the fact that we had significant cloud cover throughout the day today really hindered this severe weather event, especially in areas of Louisiana. But let's go back here to our weather data, and let's go through our forecast model real quick. Yep, we're getting the newest model run in. Let's see. Can I get the hours? It's 77% in. That's close enough. So, analyzing this in real time, we're at, this is, well, 0Z is 7 p.m. 6, 5, 4. So this is 4 o'clock. And this is what the high-resolution rapid refresh model has right now. So is that actually happening, though? I'm verifying this a little bit. So it is right now overplaying Louisiana. It is showing more significant convection in Louisiana than what is actually going on right now. Texas, it's doing a semi-decent job at. So over the next few hours, it is showing some convection around Houston, around the Houston metropolitan area, and then that line moves through. And it does have some of those updraft helicity contours in that line as well. Typically, when we're looking for tornadoes, it's a lot harder to get them in a line, just because of the shear vector and the fact that a lot of the updrafts and downdrafts kind of run into each other. And then it is showing a nocturnal. You'll teach me how to mew? I mean, hey, go ahead, bro. If you want to teach me how to mew in the chat, go for it. As we go throughout the overnight hours, so this is trying to get my bearings here in terms of timing. So this is midnight Central Time. It is showing some convection across areas of Louisiana just ahead of this line. Now, this has happened before. Very, very recently, in fact, actually 2024, the Barnsdall EF4 tornado happened very similar to this. You had this line of storms moving in, and then you had this one renegade cell in the warm sector that was moving parallel to the line, and the line kind of eventually kind of swallowed it up. And that's exactly what this high resolution model is showing. And it is actually showing on the very southern end here some significant development on that line rolling through Houston right around, it says it's rolling through Houston around 11 p.m. So the line that is the cold front that is associated with this line of thunderstorms will be rolling through between 11 and 12 p.m. Central Time through Houston. And then we kind of play everything out again throughout the day tomorrow. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I don't think that we are going to be seeing anything significant in the next few minutes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn off my camera, and I am going to switch this out real quick. Logo text. Actually, I will do this. And we'll set this, I guess this is technically 4. All right. So I'll be coming back at around 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central Time. Just gonna reset, reboot here. So don't go anywhere. Leave your comments in the chat, and when I come back, we'll get right back into it. So I'll see you guys in around 30 minutes. All right, and I will leave you guys with this this model loop playing through. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it. And we are back. Look at this. We have another convective discussion that we're going to be going over here in a couple minutes here. Let me just update our description because we are back live. So our live coverage will not be returning because we are currently doing it. So let's take a look at this convective discussion that was issued by the Storm Operations Center for areas of eastern Texas. So this is, I'm assuming, still concerning, and we just got another new precipitation discussion. So we'll take a look at that too. So this convective discussion expires in an hour and 14 minutes. So this is through, I'm assuming, 24th, 23:15 So that is 6:15 Central Time. The severe weather threat for Tornado Watch 638 continues. Isolated tornadoes remain possible this afternoon and evening. A round of supercell thunderstorms with a history of producing a tornado has since diminished, with storms percolating in intensity along and ahead of a surface cold front. Can we just pause for a second and talk about how the verbiage today from the Storm Operations Center has been very unusual, percolating in intensity along and ahead of a surface cold front. At the moment, it is unclear if storms will remain weak or if an uptick in intensity with increased tornado potential will occur over the next few hours. Nonetheless, the warm sector remains buoyant to the south of a warm front characterized by 1,000 to 2,500 joules per kilogram of mixed layer CAPE driven by 70s, upper 60s Fahrenheit surface temperatures and dew points beneath 6+ degrees Celsius per kilometer mid-level lapse rates. Furthermore, 20Z mesoanalysis shows 60+ knot southwesterly 500 millibar flow overspreading a 30 to 40 knot southerly low-level jet, contributing to 50 to 70 knots of effective bulk shear and sizable elongated curved photographs with 200+ meters squared per second squared of effective storm relative helicity. As such, a conditional tornado threat persists if storms can organize, especially near the warm front where low-level shear is maximized. Very interesting. Most probable peak tornado intensity, 100 to 130 miles an hour. Most probable peak wind gusts, 65 to 80 miles an hour. Most probable peak hail size, 1 inch to 1 3/4 inches. So, very interesting here. If you are still along for the ride, our question of the day has been, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? So drop that in the comments section. We still got a little bit of a ways to go with this severe weather threat. We're still kind of waiting out whether or not this will actually do anything. So right now we have a special weather statement for San Jacinto County, Texas, Madison County, Texas, Walker County, Texas, Grimes County, Texas, and Montgomery County, Texas. Strong thunderstorms capable of producing small hail moving through Madison, Walker, and Montgomery counties. At 3:56 p.m. Central Standard Time, Doppler radar was tracking a cluster of strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Madisonville to 12 miles southeast of Badias to near Lake Conroe Dam. Movement was northeast at 50 miles per hour. Hazard is pea-sized hail, sources radar indicated. The impact, minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Locations impacted include Conroe, Huntsville, Crockett, Willis, Madisonville, Ostonio, Trinity, Panorama Village, Cut and Shoot, New Waverly, Cold Spring, Point Blank, Lovelady, Montgomery, Riverside, Huntsville State Park, Lake Conroe Dam, Crabs Prairie, Oakhurst, and Evergreen. So that is a special weather statement here for these cluster of cells at the moment, none of which have any rotation, so we're not concerned about anything there. But yeah, it is looking very interesting here because now we're kind of dealing with this front. This front is moving through. So we have another precipitation discussion. And this is a mesoscale precipitation discussion. And it was literally just popped up concerning heavy rainfall, flash flooding possible. This is effective until 3:58 minus 5. So this is effective until 10:58 p.m. tonight. Very interesting. Areas of training thunderstorms continue to support 1 to 2.5 inch per hour rainfall rates at times. These rain rates should support at least isolated instances of flash flooding through the evening. Flash flood potential continues across the discussion area. This afternoon, several areas of scattered thunderstorms organized into clusters and small linear segments have migrated west to east across the discussion area. And I'm going to cut this short because we have 2 flash flood warnings now, one of which is radar indicated, and this expires in 2 hours and 54 minutes around Tyler, Texas. So we have a flash flood warning for south central Smith County in northeastern Texas until 7 p.m. today. So I'm going to add this into the description here. And we're going to put this above the tornado watch, actually. (7 p.m. CST for let's just, I'm gonna keep you guys updated here just so in case anybody joins in a little later, we know what we're covering. Okay, come on, there we go. All right, so there, and then we have another one. So that's in Tyler, Texas. We have another one in Pittsburgh, not Pennsylvania, but Pittsburgh, Texas. And let's take a look at this one here. I think this is also until 7 p.m. Oh, no, this is until 6:30 p.m. So we're going to put this ahead of this one, actually. Flash flood warning until 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Central Camp County in northeastern Texas. All right. Boom. That is saved. That is now in here. All right. So let's take a look at these 2 flash flood warnings. We're going to start with the one that's expiring first. So this is also radar indicated. Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage in low-lying areas. All right, so let's get, what is our closest radar here? Oh, we have another one. We have another one, this time pertaining to Texarkana. And then this is also until 6:30. So northwestern Millard County in, all right, let's add this to till 6:30 p.m. Then we're going to do, all right. Boom. All right. Very, very active flash flood day. This was not actually the main risk that we were talking about. This is not the main risk why we went live, but we have 3, and I don't know why my radar scope is now tweaking, but we have 3 flash flood warnings. Here, we have a special weather statement here too, so we'll take a look at that. Why not? This expires in 36 minutes. A strong thunderstorm will impact northeastern Hempstead, southeastern Howard, and southeastern Sevier counties until 4:45 p.m. Central Time. At 4:01 p.m. Central Time, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Ben Lomond, or 12 miles west of Mineral Springs, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour and pea-sized hail. Let's get our, I think, the Shreveport radar. Yeah, so Texarkana, definitely in an area. Let's actually pull up our 4 box here. So our quad box here, Texarkana has seen so far rainfall totals over 2 inches of rain there. And areas to the southwest where we can kind of track these storms from have received upwards of 4 inches of rain. That's also where we have our Pittsburgh flash flood warning. They got 4 to 5 inches of rain there. And down in we'll get back to Tyler, Texas. Here is the storm that we are talking about here. So this is what we have the special weather statement on. This is kind of in a bit of a radar hole, which doesn't help, but this is let's see if I can get this on this radar. It might be a very similar picture. Yeah, not much different, unfortunately. Yeah, sometimes these areas are, you get these warnings in the worst spots, but we're talking about this thunderstorm right here. I'll circle it for us. Apparently 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts in here and pea-sized hail. So we're talking Mineral Springs, Arkansas, Nashville, Arkansas, up towards Murfreesboro, Arkansas. So this is the storm system. This is the storm track. And yeah, that's one of our special weather statements here. Let's go back to the Shreveport radar. Here's Tyler, Texas. Tyler, Texas has received about 2 inches of rain so far. They are currently about to get hit with a very strong band of precipitation here. We're talking 40 to 50 decibels. So that is something to watch out for. We have another area of this line that has a special weather statement on it. And we're going to take a look at this, actually. This expires in 33 minutes. A strong thunderstorm will impact Gregg, southwestern Harrison, northwestern Rusk, north central Cherokee, and southeastern Smith counties until 4:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 3:57 p.m. Central Standard Time, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Turnertown, or 10 miles west of Henderson, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour and pea-sized hail. So I think really the main threat right now that we're talking about is actually just heavy rain. In terms of severe weather right now, there's not much to talk about. We were looking at our mesoscale analysis earlier, and it showed that the most cape, the most ability, the best spot for any sort of lift in the atmosphere is just to the southwest of Houston. It's in this area right here. Now we do have our line. Our line extends back here. This is our cold front, by the way. So I'll draw out our little pips, even though my trackpad drawing skills are subpar. But here's our cold front, and here is this main area that we're going to be looking at for the best lifted index, so LI. So our highest lifted index values are, well, technically lowest. We count it by negatives. So right now, last we checked, it was -6. And this is our best area for lift. And here is our lifting mechanism, here, this cold front. So this is kind of what we're waiting for right now in terms of any severe weather. But again, if I take off here, if I take off our discussions, our special weather statements, our watches, and our warnings, and I pop up just the categorical outlook, that area with the highest current lifted index is not in our level 2 risk. Our level 2 slight risk is in here. And we haven't seen much here, mostly because we've seen very impactful cloud cover that kind of reduced the amount of diurnal heating that we were going to see across this region today. And I can go back and I could pull up the satellite imagery, but now at this point, we're not going to be getting much diurnal heating because the sun's starting to go down. It is already pitch black from where I am streaming from, and we're expecting that to eventually slowly shift westward, as it usually does. And this main area that we were looking at for, okay, this is the spot. If there's going to be something that's gonna pop, it's gonna be in here. Got clouded out. We saw a few large supercells moving through this area, one of which produced a tornado right in here, and that was a confirmed tornado. And that was, let's actually zoom in a little bit. So that was right in Klein, Texas. So we had a tornado here, and that probably hit many areas. I would probably say right in here. That was like where we had this tornado. But the supercell that was responsible for that had a very large anvil cloud, as well as a few other supercells just off to the north, And that clouded out this main area that we were going to be looking at for, hey, if something's going to happen, it's going to be happening in here. And that's kind of the drawback here. That is what is keeping this severe weather threat kind of tame. It's been a pretty tame afternoon and evening. So that may change, right? We were just looking at that mesoscale convective discussion that there's a chance, if there's enough forcing as this mid-level jet moves in, that we could see an uptick in severe weather activity. But for now, as I put my watches, warnings, and special weather statements back up, there's not much to talk about. I mean, we just talked about our 3 flash flood warnings. Those are the ones that are on screen right now. We have our 3 special weather statements, and most of them are concerning storms that are kind of embedded in this line. And this line is because, yeah, we have, some lift going on here. There's obviously convection, but a lot of the shear is in the direction of the line, and it's very linear. So in terms of rotation, there's not very strong semblance of rotation right now, even though our hodographs are looking good, apparently, according to the SPC and whatnot. But we're kind of looking for this area to the southwest of Houston, and that could be the spot. If anything does decide to get going, it'll be because of these cells in here. So that's what we're going to be watching over the next, call it, hour or so, because we saw some clearing in this area, and including Houston. We saw a little bit of clearing, which could be just enough diurnal heating to get some decent forcing. But overall, not a very impressive day. So, we were talking earlier about how there's let's take a quick trip to Billings, Montana, because we got a special weather statement up here. This, I'm assuming, is for snow. Let's see. This expires in 57 minutes. Northern Bighorn, Montana, southern Bighorn, Montana. Snow showers will impact southern Yellowstone and northwestern Bighorn counties until 4:15 Mountain Standard Time. So 3:15 Central, 5:15 Eastern. Wait, no, that is wrong way. 4:15 Mountain, 5:15 Central, 6:15 Eastern Time. Doppler radar was tracking snow showers along a line from near Shepherd to near Laurel, moving east at 35 miles an hour. Winds may gust up to 50 miles an hour, and visibility may drop below 1 mile. So very significant snow here across parts of Montana. I don't want the correlation coefficient. I want precipitation depiction. Albeit, let me see. This is showing rain on our precipitation depiction, but they're saying snow. So let's get up our lightning, storm tracks, local storm reports, MPing reports. There's really not much here. So, and our correlation coefficient, very interesting. They said it's snow, so I'm going to trust them because literally this is right next to the radar. So if they're seeing something, they're seeing snow. So yeah, but plenty of wind here. Look at our wind reports. 42 mile an hour non-thunderstorm wind gusts. 64 mile an hour wind gusts. We have a 54 mile an hour wind gusts and then 54 mile an hour wind gusts. Very interesting combination up there in areas of Montana. Plenty of rain reports by Nashville and Kansas City. But overall, it's kind of been a little quiet. We just got back from a 30-minute break. And yeah, I was at least thinking that within the 30-minute break we were going to get something going. At least maybe like a severe thunderstorm warning. Something, right? To this point, really haven't seen much. Let me switch my charging cable back over to my iPad so I don't lose you guys on stream here. And yeah, I mean, kind of watching this area near Victoria maybe could be moving into that area that had those higher lifted index values. So, I appreciate all of you on the stream right now. We've had a decent group today. We've had plenty of comments. Still love hearing your comments. The question of the day: what is the first thing you're taking and putting on your Thanksgiving plate, and why? Right? We've had some good ones. I'll go first. Mine, I take a bread roll. Right? You can't mess up a bread roll. It's a good way to start your Thanksgiving. But yeah. Oh, I think we have a new special weather statement here. So let's take a look at that. So this is just the northwest of Nacogdoches. So a strong thunderstorm will impact northwestern Nacogdoches, southwestern Rusk, and southeastern Cherokee counties until 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 4:19 p.m. Central Standard Time, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm 13 miles west of Morrill, or 20 miles south of Rusk, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour and half-inch size hail is the hazard. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible. And that, I'm assuming, is due to, I guess, this cell right here. There is some lightning. Obviously, these are thunderstorms, but I'm assuming it's this that we're tracking for this special weather statement. But yeah, in terms of really like severe weather, if we're talking about severe, impactful weather, it's really the amount of rain that's coming down in some of these bands of precipitation. I mean, the areas around Longview, Texas, might be next to get flash flood warnings. I mean, we've seen rainfall totals upwards of 3 inches across many areas of areas near Longview, near Kilgore, Lakeport, Easton, Henderson, Hallsville, Nesbitt. And with another round of rain moving in, the ground can't take much more. So very heavy rainfall continuing across areas of Texas, even though the severe weather-wise component in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff like that, we haven't seen a lot. But that doesn't mean that there isn't impactful weather going on across areas of eastern Texas right now. As we go through this tornado watch, it verified once. We had one confirmed tornado to the northwest of Houston. And since then, that happened around, about 3 hours ago. We haven't seen much since. So I pose it to you guys. Drop in the chat. It is Thanksgiving week. It is the biggest travel week of the year in the United States. So it's a big holiday. I think most people celebrate it. So what is the first thing you put on your plate for Thanksgiving dinner? Let's get some hot takes in the chat. Let's get a nice little discussion going on. Let's get some debate going on. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? So yeah, really fun little debates to have in the chat there. Still watching the potential for something to get going southwest of Houston. I think that's the spot where we could get something going. But the problem is here, right? We're starting to get some convection here near Victoria. But these are all kind of forming in the line as it slowly loads in. These are all kind of forming in a line. And typically you want your storm motion and your shear vector to be perpendicular to each other. And that is what allows for rotation. This, in terms of just exciting stuff to talk about, this doesn't seem very like it's going to end up being very exciting. I think that I'm gonna give it until the top of the hour here, and then this. I think that there's definitely the potential for something to get going here southwest of Houston. That's where our best lifted index values are. So if we're going to get any severe thunderstorm warnings, it would be in this area right here. So obviously we have this stuff starting to pop up in Victoria. But yeah, as this line moves eastward and these cells move eastward, that is most likely going to be where we're going to find severe thunderstorm warnings over the next hour. In terms of tornado warnings, typically we look for renegade supercells moving out in front in the open warm sector. Now we're finally starting to get this area to clear out by Beaumont. Is it Natchitoches? I think it's Natchitoches, right? Alexandria. This area, we could see some open warm sector supercells in this area. Just as this cold front slowly drifts to the east, and we're still again in the warm sector. This area has at least a thermodynamic profiles to perform. It's more so we're not getting anything up right now. There's nothing going up in the open warm sector, and that has been the biggest drawback so far. I mean, now we have an MPing report from 3 minutes ago of quarter-inch hail. So quarter-inch hail in Tyler, Texas. So not only are we seeing the potential for flash flooding in Tyler, Texas, we are also seeing pea-size hail. That is an MPing report that came in 3 minutes ago. So that's something of note. We haven't gotten any actual local storm reports for rainfall. That would be interesting to see right now. Because again, I think that out of all of the threats today, that has been the most significant. We've seen heavy rainfall throughout much of Texas today. And this continues a trend from the last few days. We've seen plenty of flash flooding reports across Texas. Flash flood warnings, across Texas. Now, this system has plenty of moisture to work with. It's bringing moisture up into areas of Arkansas. We saw plenty of rainfall reports across areas of Nashville, starting to get into areas of the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys. But yeah, this is our main weather maker throughout the week. So this is going to be that system that if anything is going to get impacted travel-wise, it's going to be because of this system, at least in terms of impacts due to weather. So, excuse me, I am currently multitasking. We are putting together a short for the YouTube channel, and that'll be up probably within the next 5 minutes. So be sure to go check that out. And yeah, that'll be a good video, actually. We're talking about lake effect snow. Where I'm from, we don't get a lot of snow in November. State College, where I go to school, we've had about 1.9 inches of snow in November. And that's been relatively high for the time that I've been there. But areas of the UP of Michigan and areas of Southwest New York could see a foot to multiple feet of snow throughout the week, which is insane. Actually, you know what? Let's go over it. Screw it. We're gonna talk about it. I mean, we have these flash flood warnings. I can go through. Let's go back here. Perfect. Let's talk about some snow. I mean, because again, our thermodynamic profiles here are great. Talking about surface-based CAPE here. I mean, we have 3,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE to the southwest of Houston. That's where we would see anything pop up if something happens. In that area that I was saying that cleared out, we don't have a lot of CAPE here. And in fact, we have a lot of SIN, convective inhibition. And that's probably going to keep this area mostly in a dry slot for now. And in fact, most of our slight risk area is in an area with no cape. So in terms of Storm Prediction Center and what's going on right now, this slight risk area was way too far northeast. Because obviously we saw that tornado warning literally right on the southwestern edge of this slight risk. And we haven't seen anywhere this far east. And even like our tornado watch, our tornado watch was for this area, and we saw one tornado warning, one confirmed tornado, and we haven't seen a single other severe thunderstorm warning. So most of the time with these deep south severe weather threats, they're boom or bust. And right now, this does seem like it's trending towards bust. We do have, interestingly enough, on the back side of this front, we have a little injection of CAPE, 1,000 to 1,500 joules post frontal. That's very interesting. We have a little bit of CAPE in Kansas. They were talking about some cold funnels up there earlier. Really interesting, and like I've never seen those terms used here. But now we were talking about in that convective discussion this 500 millibar jet, and right entrance region of this jet streak here with 60 knots of wind at 500 millibars is right over northeast Texas. And then they were talking about 800 millibar. The low level jet is right in here. So there is wind shear, because right at the low levels we have winds coming from this direction, and then the mid levels we have wind coming from this direction. There's a little bit of wind shear in there, and if we talk about effective bulk shear, there's plenty to go around. So if a storm can go up, there is still that high end potential. But the problem is there's nothing going up because there's no instability in the areas where we have the best effective bulk shear. In terms of our area with the highest CAPE, our highest CAPE is around here. We have about 45 knots of effective wind shear, which can be enough, but it's really not going too well, actually. So that's kind of what's going on here. That's kind of the gist. So again, we're gonna stay on till 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. We're gonna see if anything kind of happens, anything kind of pushes the needle. But right now, I mean, this line is slowly pushing through this tornado watch area. And in fact, we're kind of seeing things slow down a little bit here. So yeah, we've been live for 3 hours now, folks, and we got some excitement at the start, and we haven't seen a lot since. So yeah, now's the time. You guys got me on the line. Any questions, anything in terms of, travel week? It's a huge travel week. So if anybody wants me to put my weather mind to work, please do. Because I'm trying to fill time here as we're waiting for something to go on. I'm currently uploading this short form video to the channel as well. So you guys will have something to talk about there. But yeah, I mean, it was really a compelling setup going into tonight, and it just has not lived up to said hype. And right now, I don't see that changing. Besides the flash flood factor, right? Let me get up our convective discussion and our mesoscale precipitation discussion again. The mesoscale precipitation discussions have been hitting. They've been spot on. that we've been seeing training thunderstorms in this line that have been kind of compiling plenty of heavy precipitation right on these areas. Let's see if we can go to, I guess it's the Shreveport radar. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. You know, we've been seeing just an overabundance of water. I mean, this is impressive amounts of rainfall across areas to the west of the southwest of Shreveport right now, near Longview. Yeah, I mean, we've seen 2 to 4 inches of rain, and many of these areas were in drought. So that's something that we can note. But yeah, this is really interesting, just how widespread this just band of heavy precipitation is. I mean, it is, you know, from east central Texas through into central Arkansas. Very impressive rainfall event here. So if we're taking one thing away from this, that is going to be that this was a massive rainmaker. So again, our question of the day: what is your first choice food at the Thanksgiving dinner table? What is your first choice? If like everything's on the table, what are you looking at? So that is the question, folks. We're still looking at our mesoanalysis data. I'll pull back up this forecast model. I think we should have the latest 21Z starting to move in, starting to pop up here. Yep, 21Z. So let's play this out here. Oh, hey now, hold on. It is showing something 2Z. So 2 minus 6. That is 8 p.m. Central Time. Maybe I go live again tonight. I don't think I'm going to be staying live for that. Yeah, because right now we're at 5 plus 17 plus 5, so 22. We're at 22Z. It's overplaying convection right now. That's what's going on. It's overplaying this convection. Because we're not seeing this here. We're definitely not seeing this across Louisiana. And yeah, by 2023, it's making a lot more sense with this line starting to pop up southwest of Houston. Yeah, so maybe I'm just all. I mean, 6 p.m. is 23Z. So this is by 6 p.m. This makes sense, given what we're seeing right now. So yeah, and then it has stuff popping up within the next few hours, but are we actually going to see that come to fruition? So yeah, I think just based on that model guidance, I don't know what to do here, folks. We got started off with a bang. We had one confirmed tornado today, just to the northwest of Houston, but that's about it. That was kind of all she wrote. So I think what I'm gonna do here is, if anything happens again, I'll go live again. But for now, I'm gonna take the stream. I will put a asterisk next to this, that this is a completed stream. And I think that's all we're going to talk about today. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to stay tuned for more weather updates, feel free to subscribe. It is absolutely free, and I post as many times as I can to keep you all informed. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.